mis amigos. Soy la Mora de Paris. Roche Chanel, and you're watching the 3 Count Podcast.
That she raised one. All of your hate won't change none. Who you think you are and who I am, it ain't the same. We are not the same.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, my name is Chaz Evans. I'm your boy, your nephew, your cousin. It's the Don Chaz Evans, and you are watching and listening to the 3 Count Podcast. Let's start this off. Introducing first, he is my tag team partner. He's the man that runs this show because I don't do shit. I don't run shit. I just talk shit. He is the landlord of the Dog Pound, the red dog of red dogs. He is Red Dog Cliff Miller. Bark, 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 bark.
Oh, yeah. You know what? We didn't land on a 3 Count Podcast. The 3 Count Podcast landed on us. And this is what we do. Right, Grimes? I know you're listening.
He's not getting those glasses back.
Nope.
Oh, man. And introducing next, he is the host of the new and the highest rated show for that first week in January. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the franchise of the 3 Count Podcast. He's the Broncos wearing. Oh, you know, he brings the heat when it's hot outside. Ladies and gentlemen, he is Cliff's best friend, Luda Franchise.
All right. So, on a serious note, Chaz, thank you for letting me be part of your show. Cliff, thank you for being my best friend for 20 years. Thank you for allowing me to speak my mind on the 3 Count Podcast. What I've learned over the last 6 to 8 months is that you don't take anything for granted. Things can be taken from you unexpectedly. You have to fight for what's yours and remember that we are the good guys. We don't mean any harm. We love each other here. I will always teach my kids that. I will teach my unborn daughter that we continuously fight. And at the end of the day, everything will be all right.
Did you just drop that? Like, what?
Did you really just get sensitive on us?
No.
Fuck all the noise.
Not that. Not the sensitive part. Did you just... He did that.
What? Did what?
She's pregnant?
Yeah. Well, of course, everybody knows that she's pregnant.
Wait. No. Fuck off. He that's what he caught, but it's a girl?
It's a girl?
It's a girl?
Wow, I didn't know that. Oh, wow, well then, shit, congratulations.
Hold on, John Moxley interview out here.
Well, I hope you go get that shotgun.
Right here.
Don't forget the ground-to-air missiles, too, because, you know, they will use parachutes.
Shit. Wow, congratulations. I didn't know Aaron was pregnant.
Yeah.
Tell me this. He probably did tell me, and I probably legitimately
got it. We are due at the end of May, beginning of June.
Oh, shucks. Okay.
You did tell me. I feel like you did tell me. I just probably didn't remember. You know, my memory is bad. But oh my God, it's a girl. Well, congratulations. Okay, that's fucking awesome. Wow. I can't be the intro like that. Sorry, Damien.
You better try.
Oh man, just all right. Well, let's see what we got here. But first of all, round of applause for Anthony. Like shit. That's fucking awesome. Like that's fucking dope as shit. All right. So here we go. Introducing last but certainly not the least, he is the Dark Lord from the great big depth of hell. He has risen to bring darkness and despair and pain and torment and, quite frankly, very inappropriate comments to the 3 Count Podcast. He is the Dark Lord. He is the Sith Lord. He is his royal darkness. He is the supervillain, Damien Fatale.
Now, if you got your kids listening right now, you're a horrible parent. Just want to let you know that now. Just put your kids to bed, put them away,
because you know I'm going to say some off the wall shit. I gave you your warning.
That's facts. So, with that being said, that's all who we have here right now. Apparently, we're supposed to get some run-ins. So, when they get here, they'll get here. So, we got the intro and announcements. I don't know how to that's awesome though. I'm just really giddy now because I'm sentimental and emotional. I like sappy shit. So that's fucking awesome. All right, so let's get some intro and announcements. If you have not already heard, check out the 3 Count Podcast website. Okay, go check that out. All of our videos are up. It gets updated regularly. I try to update it regularly. But it updates regularly. Our recent videos up on there. You can find our bios. You can also get some merch from there as well. It'll go right to Pro Wrestling Tees. But check out the podcast, 3countpodcast.com. That's the number 3. Don't you dare type in 3 like an idiot. It's the number 3. You know how we roll.
I was gonna say you better tell them because you know they stupid.
Exactly. You know how we do. It's the number 3. You're with 4 3 Count Podcast. So go check the website out. Cliff, Anthony, let the people know what's coming up for our Entering the Ring shows.
Oh, yeah, shout outs. So now Entering the Ring, we do have some pretty big interviews coming up. I'm super excited about both of them. Rochelle Chanel will be out on Tuesday, so you guys should definitely catch her. If you guys haven't seen her, she was on AEW Dark. She's now part of SWE Fury out of Dallas, so we definitely want to give a big loves to her and thank her for coming on the show. And every once in a while, you guys will see her as she pops up. She's usually the one person that just joins up with us. Also, number 2, we have Shauna Reed, the pretty little psycho. She's going to be on Thursday of this week. So you guys definitely go and check out that interview as well. We're super hyped. And then Anthony, let us know about our TTR.
All right. So returning to the ring, we just got done recording last week. Ron Holiday. And if you guys don't know who Ron Holiday is, go look at his videos before you watch our interview with him because it was insane. This week we have Basic Becca on Wednesday at 7 Eastern. What the?
Who shit is that?
Is that you, Damien? Is that you?
Yeah, that was me vibrating. My bad.
My God.
Put your vibrator away.
I can't. That's why it's dark.
Hey yo.
I forgot to mute. My bad.
Oh God, that was funny.
What?
All right. Also, last but not least, shop merch, man. You see, Anthony and Cliff rocking the 3 Count Podcast T-shirt. Go get yourself one. Like ProWrestlingTees.com/3 Count Pod. Get yourself a T-shirt. We got a 3 Count Podcast T-shirt like they got. We got our logo T-shirt. We got my man Cliff got his own shirt on the 3 Count Pod on the shop. Go get that one. That just says catchphrase for fuck's sake.
Has it? It's comfortable.
Exactly. Like get yourself, and then you got the OG crew. You gotta have the throw back to the classics. So get yourself one of those. Go get yourself a 3 Count Podcast T-shirt. The more you buy shirts, the more designs we can put out for you. So and we have a bunch of ideas for designs. We just can't put them out yet because I don't buy them yet. So go buy some shirts. Somebody go
buy those shirts.
Hey, listen, you don't want the Dark Lord coming to your house while you sleep just because you didn't buy a shirt.
Trying to tell you, whole family.
Like, exactly. Like, we just threaten your whole family. So go buy a shirt.
Buy a shirt for you and your whole family.
Exactly. So go definitely get yourself 3 Count Podcast T-shirt. All righty, let's get down to business, guys. It's now time for the Wednesday Night War Rundown. All right, here we go. As we always do every week, we give you the numbers. So AEW's Wednesday Night Dynamite had 854,000 viewers, which is up from last week's 762,000 viewers. The 18 to 49 demographic was a 0.36, which is up from their 0.30, which was 31st overall last week. Now, if we flip channels to USA Network, NXT brought in 659,000 viewers, which is up from last week's 551,000 viewers. The 18 to 49 demographic was a 0.24, which is up from their 0.14, which was 70th last week. So both shows had an increase in views. But we're going to talk about this because I think most of us, no, not most of us, all of us have very strong opinions on Dynamite this week. So let's get this thing popping. So as we always talk about, we always know AEW constantly has more viewers every week, at least for the most part, unless they're off, it's because of the NBA or anything. So they have more viewers, but that doesn't equate. I want to make sure I put it on there. Just because you have more viewers does not equate that your show was the best show that week. That's why every week we started doing, I asked, what did you think was your favorite show? Or what show did you think was better? So before we get into the topic of Dynamite itself, or, this week's, Wednesday night shows, Cliff, which show was better for you?
NXT.
Okay. Damien?
NXT hands down.
Mm-hmm. Lou?
All I watched was Planned Parenthood.
Oh, I love you, Lou.
It literally took, but it did take me 3 days to watch the whole Dynamite because life has been busy. So I didn't get to watch NXT, so unfortunately I got to go AEW on this one now. My bad.
Okay, so I gotta talk about it. I gotta bring it up. You know what? The Dynamite was drizzling. It was the drizzling shits. It was garbage. And I say this on numerous things. There was just a lot of stuff on the show that just did not need to happen. Like a whole lot of fluff. There was things that didn't make sense as far as Cody and Peter Avalon's match with the distraction by Jade Cargill. That made no sense because of the simple fact is that he got kicked in the dick and still had a good, long, drawn-out indie match. We'll get to let me get my own point. Let everybody go. You can. The triple threat tag match for the Inner Circle, which I said from jump was the dumbest shit ever. Although the match wasn't bad, like I will say, the match was not bad. The action was high speed. It's like what was the point? You have an actual tag team. Why not use the actual tag team? Just all in all, as far as on the flip side, as far as NXT is concerned, NXT is like had constantly, as far as matches go, the matches were great. The story that were told in the matches were great. The psychology was great. Like I just have to say, NXT was just way better, hands down. And I always say that, and I'm always unbiased as far as AEW. I've always been. I always say there are some things on Dynamite that I like, and there's some things I don't. But all in all, this show was literally like Naruto filler. That's the best way I can put it. Naruto filler is what this episode of Dynamite was. I was more excited for the things that they were announcing for next week and for Beach Week. I'm more excited for that than anything that Dynamite put on this past Wednesday. It was the drizzling shits, which can lead to another topic as far as Bully Ray talking about how not NXT, but AEW is more indie-rific. It is. A lot of us have said that. It's an indie show with money. But yeah, through my pen. Cliff, what you got?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, the one thing that was crazy was just like all the ridiculousness that was happening in AEW. And I have to be honest, like, I really wanted to go into AEW with like liking the show, but as we discussed, right, Pretty Peter and kicking Cody in the dick and not getting a win. There's a spot where they were trying to hit a cutter and the cutter missed. There's another spot where the tag team, the triple threat tag team, we obviously know we can talk about the moonsault, but there's some other spots that were missed. There's some stuff, like a bunch of hiccups just everywhere in the show. And it's like something like, and it comes to be like, sometimes you're going to have these shows that happen, right? And with a company being as young as AEW, that's got to be something that we have to take into account. But it just was so noticeable that like it kind of killed the vibe. It was a lot like watching, Double or Nothing. Like once like the bad stops, like once one bad thing happened, and then it just kind of snowballed into like the rest was catching up. And that's kind of where I saw the show, and I was like, damn, man, this is not good. But hopefully next week they can kind of get it together.
All right, what about you, Damien?
I'm gonna be nice, kinda, to a point. It was sloppy. Like it was like they were just throwing shit at the wall and seeing what the fuck was gonna stick. Like it was like yeah, everything we did have planned like kind of went out the window. It's kind of how I felt looking at clips because I don't watch Planned Parenthood like that. So, but I think the part that really, really angers me was the main event. Why? Why, when you have a legitimate fucking tag team in the fucking group, are you gonna have a 6-man fucking tag match to declare who is the fucking tag team of the group? Why? That should not have been happening. Period. Now, if they were gonna have that match to see just for bragging rights to not represent, the Inner Circle as the tag team because they already got one, then that would have been a different story. I could have enjoyed that a lot more than this little added, I guess, side note. So, like, it angers the fuck out of me. Like, it's not even the fact that Jericho almost died. It's not the fact that, there's like a few missed spots. It's the fact that the match was fucking happening and the reason fucking why. Period. The match should have never happened.
All right, Lou, what you got for me, buddy?
All right, first off, don't you ever, and I mean ever, talk ill will about Jade Cargill again.
I wasn't talking ill about her.
I don't care if it's in that match, if she's taking a poop in the toilet, anytime she's on camera, A-okay with me.
I wasn't talking bad. I wasn't talking bad about her. I just thought the segment, like that whole part, was like ill placed. They could have kept that, and I would have honestly. I feel like that's really my main problem with that specific match was the fact that Peter Avalon he's had this win streak going on, and it's okay, and then Cody's out here like, oh, I'm gonna beat you in a minute. I'm gonna beat him in a minute. He hits the crossroads right off a jump. Then Jade comes out, he gets kicked in the dick, and they still have this whole match.
And I get that. And
you know what I'm saying?
It was bad.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's not bad. I'm just defending.
Yeah, I'm about to like it's not her. I love her.
Jade wants to come out, she can come out.
But I just have to say,
I'm not done.
Are you comparing Jade to Tessa Blanchard though?
Absolutely. Tessa Blanchard.
Tessa doesn't like being compared to anybody.
How dare you?
Anyways, back
I didn't want to say it.
Back to AEW and the drizzling shits that you called it. It was flipping disgusting. My wife has sold better than half the shit that was going on. And we all know what we're talking about. I've never been so I've never been so disgusted with AEW after taking 3 days to watch that goddamn show. I'm with Damien. I'm 100% with Damien. Why the fuck was that the main event? Why the fuck are you doing that to the boys?
Right? Like
they legitimately have a tag team that is fucking good.
Right? It's not like
that's been good for 15 fucking years. It's just mind blowing. And then, don't get me wrong. I like Jade, but you're bringing out Jade to tell you that Shaq's coming. Why does AEW need Shaq? Are you starting to slip up and starting to feeling like you're going to lose the views? Now you got to bring up another star power. It makes no fucking sense. Promote your fucking wrestlers.
I see your
I wasn't even getting on that part.
I get that because you said the same thing as far as the Impact crossover. I get that. I get your point. I get you. Yeah.
That's the one thing about it, though, man. You've been very consistent about your points, though, saying that.
Yeah.
Got you, Chaz.
You literally have stated that from Jump Street.
They just need to be more constant. If they were more constant with their stuff, it would be.
No, they don't need star power. They don't need Shaq to come. They don't
Oh,
need this to
that's what
come.
I'm saying. If they were more constant
Just wrestle.
with their wrestlers and like doing this Impact thing correctly, like we said last week, use the women. Use the fucking women.
Yeah, amen.
Why are you like? I get it. Using Kenny to kind of start it because he's the champ, it makes sense. But why is Private Party over there getting a title shot? Why isn't Nyla Rose going over there to get a title shot at the Impact Women's Championship? Or
Championship.
A year and a half ago, 2 years ago, they were promoting that they're tired of the nude wrestling, that it's all jobber and blah blah blah. We're gonna wrestle, and that's all they seem to be doing now lately is jobbing. And I'm just like, get to fucking wrestling. That's why I loved you guys at the beginning.
Mm-hmm. JJ. JJ has arrived.
With no sunglasses on. Holy shit.
I know. Yeah, it's a new season, new look, new gimmick. No sunglasses for season 2.
Are you homeless?
JJ, give me the points. What's your thoughts on the drizzling shits that was Planned Parenthood?
And then after that, I got a question for you.
I can't believe I called it Planned Parenthood.
What about
that's what it is? Planned Parenthood.
What about AEW that was bad? I mean, honestly, there's nothing that I have to say, really.
I got a question for you before you say anything. Did you watch it?
Actually, I did.
Hey, I'm proud of you.
Sadly, I wish I could take those 2 hours back.
You picked the wrong episode to watch it.
I want to take back those 120 minutes. I want to take it back. Can I take it back?
Nah, you're stuck with it, bro.
Yeah, choices. Didn't they teach that in college? Seriously, question for you though, man. What's it like to be at Millersville Correctional Facility right now?
Because that's what it looks like.
Well,
you gotta tell. You got a super white wall in the back.
Are you on?
Are you sleeping on the clock?
Look at this is comfy. This is like a cloud.
What pod are you in?
What pod? I'm not in no
Block
pod.
C.
We're gonna come and visit you, bro.
I ain't no pod.
Block C for college.
But
do
you got no pictures on your wall, bro?
Do you have your pocket? Do you have your pocket out, or are you holding somebody else's pocket?
oh my god. Anyway, back to the topic. I want to harp back on Damien talking about the consistency. I agree with the consistency because especially with the win-losses thing. And Anthony, I know you're an avid watcher. Maybe you can help me understand it. Because I don't get the win-loss thing. And the ranking system, because we got ranked 6 people getting title shots. Like, isn't John Moxley the number 2 ranked? Why is he not getting a title shot? See, you don't even get it either. See?
It doesn't make me.
AEW's a freaking.
The rankings made sense when they first started because the number 1 contenders were getting the spots.
Exactly.
But then they start moving it away, and I'm just like, why is there still numbers?
It's because UFC was lying.
See, and like that was supposed to force them to make wins and losses matter,
right?
They just they backed themselves in the corner because they said they were gonna give something to us and they haven't done it, or at least they didn't stick to it.
Yeah. Well, that was like my problem when Brody Lee, and then rest in peace, Brody Lee. But my problem with Brody Lee coming in was Brody Lee came in, he made such an impact, and all of a sudden there were no pun intended, but he made such an impact to the scene that they gave him a title shot like right off the jump. You're like,
right.
Well, wait a minute, why does he get a title shot? Like he's got to earn his way up. And at that, some of these guys have been wrestling like at least 2-3 months into the company, and he came in like May, June-ish, and then they were like, championship spot. And you're like, wait, no, that's not what you guys said was gonna happen. That's not what's supposed to happen. Like, can we get this right? And the same thing with Eddie Kingston. Eddie's first match in AEW was a loss. And he came back, and they just put him in a championship spotlight. Like, why?
Right, yeah. Yeah. No, yeah. So it's just a lot of just it's a lot of
There's
gunk. A
a
lot
lot
of
of
gunk in this
inconsistencies.
show. And again, a lot of gunk and inconsistencies. And like they gotta get that shit together.
It died.
So
Just fizzled the fuck out. And like at this point, I don't even know if they could fix it. Because like really, what are you gonna say? Oh, we're gonna make it matter now?
Yeah, at this point, like you just have to eat the loss
You
and
might
just
just
say, yeah,
get
well,
rid-
we
just
gotta,
get rid-
really restart
I
this.
wave your hand. No, you're good.
Yeah,
Are we
you're
still frozen?
No, what?
He's
Yeah,
messing
you guys
us.
are frozen.
oh wow, we're frozen, but we can still see you perfectly fine.
I can hear you, but I can't see. Like, you
That's
know what I
fine.
mean?
You don't need to see us.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, I can see you just fine, buddy.
Yeah.
John Moxley actually is number 1 right now.
He's number 1. Okay.
And so why is he not getting a title shot?
Well,
Man,
he is
why-
getting a title shot.
Oh, he's getting his ring.
But number 2 is MJF. But he's going after tech. Make the fuck.
That doesn't make any sense.
No fucking sense.
It makes okay. Stop. Because you guys are overcomplicating this whole thing. It makes sense that he's the number 2 ranked because if you look at his singles record, MJF has the best percentage after Moxley.
No,
this whole year.
they're all 0-0 right now. It's 2020.
And Moxley beat MJF, which would put Moxley at 1, MJF at 2, because you can still go by lifetime records.
They're
No, I didn't say that. I'm not saying that their ranking system isn't correct as far as the win losses. It's how they're utilizing it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like they're jumping out of order, and I get it that sometimes the ranked number 1 person might be doing something else, but like y'all gotta figure this shit out. Like it's fucking confusing.
They better fucking figure it out soon because I don't want to crawl back to Vince McMahon.
They all do. They all do.
Yeah, never say never.
They all do. Never say never. All right. Speaking of crawling back to Vince McMahon, that's
Oh,
he didn't say. I mean, he didn't say he didn't say he would. He just said he would hear them out.
he would take a meeting.
Yeah. Doesn't mean he's gonna go back, but all right, we gotta talk about your boy Take. Undertaker's in some hot water, guys. So Undertaker took a shot. He's in some hot water with the
that's some bullshit. Ain't no hot water. Everybody
anyway, let me get through it. The Undertaker took a shot at the current generation superstars and pretty much their behavior in the locker room. So Undertaker compared like the locker room environment from his time to what is now like, what they do now is like kind of soft. He says that, he preferred the time when men were men, because everyone plays video games right now. And, back in that day, they played poker, did cocaine, on the occasion there was a slight murder, drugs, all that stuff. So he wants that instead of the video games and catering and hey pal, how was your week?
Everybody's screwing up this man's words
All these
already.
skinny jean wearing motherfuckers.
And so a lot of superstars have has taken some liberty with what he said. Xavier Woods has said something as well. Even of all people, Jelly Janela said something, and he has no right to speak anything. But a lot of people have spoken out. It was like Undertaker, being an old head in a sense. So I want to know what's your thoughts. Was Taker's comments a little? Should he get heat for this? Pretty much. Lou, you can start. Then Josh, Damian, Cliff, then me.
No, it's it's his own opinion. That's what he prefers. B, he's retired, so what can he get from it? What are they gonna do? Go egg his house? I think that's what the new hipsters do. 3, yeah, absolutely. It was more entertaining watching the 90s, early 2000s wrestling to compare to what's going on now. And everything is so freaking virtual that That's what they do. They play video games on YouTube and Twitch, and that's how they make money, and that's how they get followers. And that's not wrestling. That's not wrestling. Wrestling is going out there, and I understand that we're in a time right now where we can't have the fan interactions before the fan experiences because of COVID. But a lot of the fans now don't even flock to those as much as they did back in the 90s.
Is it?
Oh, yeah. I think I'm
Okay, well, so my first two things I'm gonna say is to Undertaker, okay, Boomer. Okay, Boomer.
You would say that.
Of course you would.
What? Wrestling is evolving, whether good or bad. Right? We take the good with the bad. If Undertaker grew up in this generation, he probably would be also doing Twitch and all that. It's just a product of the environment. So I mean, is he right to his opinion? Sure. If that's what he thinks, fine. But it's whatever. It's like Lou said, he's retired. He can say whatever the hell he wants. What is he gonna do? You know, have a one-on-one with the Undertaker? If they, they have a problem with him. So I mean, it's whatever. Yeah, okay, Boomer. Please don't come to my house and tombstone me or my dorm.
He definitely is.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
he is.
go up there for him.
Fools and burying souls.
Set
I'm
your
gonna do
dog on
I'm
fire.
gonna do the job for him.
All right, I'm gonna get a shovel and bury myself before he gets the chance to do it himself.
All right, Damon, what you got?
All right, so I'm gonna say it. Everybody that sat there and bitched and moaned and cried that Undertaker said what he said are a bunch of bitches.
Yes.
Xavier Woods, bitch. Joey Vanilla, bitch. And any other of those names that said it, that even if I like them, are a bunch of bitches. Bitch ass niggas. With that being said, I agree with Undertaker. You gotta remember, I'm old school. Like, I don't know.
He's like
It's sensitive for me. Like, I want to sit in my corner and brood, and if somebody gets too close, I'm gonna shank them. Like, I enjoy that. I'm cool with that. So it was just his opinion. He was just saying, in my opinion, the way I saw it was he was just saying at the end of the day, this is what he's used to. He's not used to that. He's not saying it's a bad thing, but that's just his opinion. Is he sort of right about them not having any edge? Yes. Because they're all a bunch of sensitive bitches.
Agreed.
PC culture, baby.
All right. So hold on.
Oh my gosh.
Allow me to bring you to a new educational world that you guys may not be familiar with. I guess it's my turn.
Wait, what?
So here's the problem that a lot of people are kind of missing out on. They're talking about the product being soft, right? And that's what Undertaker was alluding to, but he wasn't saying that the guys were soft. He said, technically they're not telling good stories. If you guys have gone back and listened to different things that Mark has said, he has legitimately told people that they don't know how to story tell. Now that I've put that out of the way, we're going to take these back off. Here's the other problem that you guys are really kind of forgetting about. He has literally said that the wrestlers of today are all flash and no substance. We were just talking about that in the car while we were driving to training today. Is that when you look at certain characters and certain people who are wrestling right now, we don't know who you are. We don't know anything about you. Now, is that a problem because of you? Not necessarily, because WWE hasn't given you the opportunity to show off who you are, right? When you look at guys like Keith Lee, who is Keith Lee? We could say he's the limitless one. All right, cool. But what does that mean?
Mhm.
Where does that go? How do we
Who is
when
he?
we talk about other characters? Sure, I like the fact that Xavier Woods has his own YouTube channel. I do love watching Up, Up, Down, Down. And by the way, here's something crazy. Up, Up, Down, Down hit 1 million subscribers in 2019 before COVID. So it's he's been grinding on this channel for so long. People are starting to flock to it. But this was way before like all that stuff. He's been interacting with fans digitally for a long time, and that's why he kind of has like an exception for me on the rule, because like, you know, when you're going out and you're treading new waters, kind of like what Zack Ryder did back in the day when he started off the Long Island IZ story. Like when you saw him do that, like he was reaching out, fans were engaging with him, and that's why he got over. Same thing with Austin. He's out there engaging with his fans, and fans are coming back to him. Then they want to see more of him. It's just that Taker's he's not used to like this hybrid. Like he could be this hybrid person where like he understands like the technology is really kind of taking over, and that's how people are going to be able to get and interact with their fans better and more engaged, and they can come back and buy more product from them. But in the locker room, there has to be like a sense of professionalism that happens. Now, granted, Xavier Woods does like all of his tapings and all that stuff after the shows or even before the shows because he wants to make sure that they're focused on wrestling. I just think the problem though is that we sit back here and we look at these characters, and we've talked about these guys numerous times, like Ricochet. Who is Ricochet? What does he want? Where does he want to go? Where is he? You know what I mean? Like, can you tell me where Ricochet is from? Like off the jump?
He's from Louisville, Kentucky.
Is he? Because I don't feel like they ever announced where he's from. It's just like we get all these flashy things from these characters, and we don't really know anything about them as far as in sense in the wrestling world. And that's why Taker is saying those things, because you don't have anything to grip onto as far as your character goes. We know who the Dead Man is. We know he comes from Death Valley. We know that he wants to, you know, dig holes and bury souls. We know all the stuff that Taker wants. We know the things that Stone Cold Steve Austin, not Austin Creed, but Stone Cold Steve Austin wanted. We know the things that Rock wanted. We knew what Kane wanted. Kane, we didn't even know where he came from, but we knew that he wanted to burn his brother alive. Like, we knew all the things about those characters, and that's why it was so crazy to me that people got offended that Undertaker legitimately said, I don't like watching a product because it's all flash and no substance. So where are we at? Like, what are we doing?
Well, all right. So my thing is, I'm not going to disagree with the substance and flash part. Like, I'm not disagreeing with that. It's the locker room thing that rubs me. Let's not forget the locker room that Undertaker's talking about, the locker room that Bruiser Brody died in. Like, let's not like, I get all that, but let's not forget like that what Taker is talking about. That, you know, the good old days, Bruiser Brody was shanked in the locker room. Do we really want to go back to that? It's more, and I shut up, Lou. All right, yeah, I'm not going to any locker room where I got to fear for my life. I'm already got to go into a wrestling ring.
No, the fact that if you're in a locker room with New Jack, your life is already in danger.
Well, I haven't been in one yet, so
it might happen. You live on the East Coast.
I know it might happen. Somehow I escaped that this weekend. So, but yeah, it's just a lot of wrestlers died early from drugs. Now, not to necessarily that, there aren't wrestlers still out here doing drugs. It's just not as prevalent as it was back in the day. I don't think there's much of a problem with people playing video games during, like, I don't think it's that big of an issue where that can come across as people being soft or as, men were men. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing like, I think that's my issue with it. If I don't like video games, I just say, Taker, you don't like video games. Like, you don't play video games. That's fine. Like, but
I think another problem too. No, I agree with that. Because like, you legitimately, and to be real, right? And I'm going to say this, Mark can't really say anything. You legitimately had a group of guys you called the Bone Street Gang that all you guys did was play dominoes. So just because the guys are switching from dominoes to console does not take away from the fact that y'all sat in the back and played games. Like, right. I give you that.
Dominoes.
Yes,
and remember that.
I feel like everybody is still reading way too much into this comment or into his comments.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? And like, at the end of the day, all he's saying is this: When he goes into the locker room now, it's not like what it used to be. He's not as comfortable as going into the newer locker room than he was back in the day. And that makes sense. You know what I mean?
He's retired. He only shows up what 2 times, if that.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's a big difference though, from when he was full time to when he's coming in sporadically. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So I think that's really all it was. And everybody has their opinion on the products that are out there.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't disagree with him saying that the product is, he doesn't like the product now. It's all all flash and substance. That's facts. We talk about that all the time on this show. Sure. We say that.
When I'm talking about the soft part, and maybe this is the way I'm taking it when he said it, is a lot of people don't got the balls to go out there and put themselves on the line to get themselves noticed, to take chances. Not very many people do that.
I agree with part of that statement. There's another part of it. I agree with it because in the sense of other wrestlers who've like taken the ball and just said, fuck it, I'm gonna run with this, have made it work out for them. Like, for instance, the New Day. The reason why the New Day got over so much was because they're like, all right, we're gonna try your way. Now we're gonna direct it back our way, and we're gonna do our thing. We're not gonna give a fuck. And that's what they did, and they did great with it. But I see your point though, because I mean, unfortunately, I go back to it, like Ricochet, like, bro, like, you're super talented, but man, there's nothing to rip onto.
He's blind.
But to see, he could be complacent where he's at. He could be happy where he's at. People are, I guess, content in different roles. You do have the people that out there like, oh, hell no, I'm not going to settle to be second place. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go out there and do whatever I have to do, throw it at the wall. If it sticks, if it doesn't, fuck it, I'm going to keep trying. I think that's what Taker's trying to say. You don't have enough of these people that are going out there and making the product competitive, which then in a whole is making the product that much better. When you have that competitiveness with each other, but camaraderie, you get a better product.
You also get murdered as well.
You said what?
You also get murdered as well.
Well, then I guess you need to carry your Glock or your shank with you.
You could be walking down the street and then somebody shoot at you. You still got to get
true. I mean, that's fact. Especially if you look like me.
And a fan can kidnap you and wear your skin.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you either put the lotion on your skin or it gets the hose again.
Exactly.
Where the hell is this going?
I've lost it. I thought
in a galaxy far, far away.
Talking about like they kill you and wear your skin. What?
And put shit on the skin.
Dying and wrestling.
Oh man, I don't know what Anthony just said.
Puts the lotion on like something out of an anime. Gets the hose again.
Alrighty then, we're gonna move on.
Would you fuck me? I'd fuck me. I'd fuck me hard.
Knock it off, Jeremy.
Okay.
Continue, Chaz.
Anyway, moving on to our last topic. So NXT. It's funny, we talked about this last week on last week's show. We were talking about NXT has a better chance of doing better numbers if they move to another show. Well, guess what? They might not have no choice but to move to another night. NBC Sports, they do the NHL, right? And what else do they do?
The Olympics.
And the Olympics. Oh, that makes it that now, yeah. So
also they do the Premier League soccer. So for people who watch
football.
So they're pulling the plug on that. NBC Sports is closing down, shutting down. So these NHL, the Premier Sport Soccer League, and the Olympics are going to go to USA Network. We all know how the Olympics works, and we know the Olympics is all week, in a sense. And NXT may have to move from that Wednesday slot, especially for hockey. So, what's our thoughts on NXT possibly moving from Wednesday night to another night. More likely, it either would be a Tuesday or Thursday because you can't do Friday or Monday, SmackDown and Raw. So what do you guys think? Damien, Cliff, Lou, Josh, then me.
It could be a blessing in disguise. I mean, moving to a different night, it kind of gives them their own slot. You know, they get, you don't have people trying to figure out which one they want to watch first, which will, that's probably ultimately, counting numbers, if you know what I mean. Like whatever show you're watching live, those numbers count for that. So it's beneficial. I mean, fuck it. I mean, let hockey have Wednesday. But was there anything that comes on Thursday?
No.
Basketball.
Oh, basketball, but
on TNT.
All right, so look, then we can have wrestling 5 days a week.
Yeah, because I don't think that they won't go on Tuesdays. I highly doubt that.
There's no reason to go on Tuesday. I wouldn't. That's just dumb.
Yeah. It is important to note though that NBC Sports isn't closing until the end of the year, so we do have to make sure that is something that's said, because they're gonna still run the Olympics. They're still gonna run all their other stuff that's gonna be going on the channel. So that's definitely something we have to know first. But post that, it's gonna be interesting to see, because the NHL obviously draws in a lot of fans. USA is in a lot more networks. Like as far as like cable packages and stuff go, it's a lot more territories, a lot more people are gonna be able to watch that, and there's gonna be a lot more marquee matchups that are gonna be there versus what's happening with NXT. NXT is pulling in 600, 700,000 fans, and you're gonna be looking at the NHL that's probably pulling in close, like a lot more than that, probably given game between 1 to 3 million viewers, like a game. So that's something to be noted. That's something to be looked at. But NXT, I just want to see NXT on a Thursday. And the reason why is because even though I might have to compete with the NBA, it's still it's going to have its own fans. It's going to have a lot of people come over from AEW to watch what's going on at NXT. And I think it's going to make NXT want to have a better program. Plus, I'm not going to lie, I kind of like watching the shots that get pitched. So whether you get a guy that's like, oh, did you see what happened last night? Yeah, apparently somebody botched up a couple moves. I just want to see that kind of competition go back and forth. I know we talk about all the time where AEW does it with NXT, and sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's not. But I think in a reality set, I just want to see NXT on a Thursday night get its own fan base and then draw its own numbers. So I'm kind of into for that.
I think it's gonna be good for NXT to move to a different channel so they don't get their ass handed to them every week like they've been. And you roll your eyes, but it's true. And out of the year and a half that we've been doing this, they've won 3 times, maybe 4.
It's actually been like 6.
Oh, 6. Watch out for those big numbers, Chaz.
I know that because for the first one I started doing the Wednesday night rundown, I was keeping tally of each week on how many they've won. And I do remember the last time I did keep count, they were at 4, and then they were, I think it was when they had a couple times where they did come and they beat them. So it was so we're at 6. I know we're not at 10. I know that for a fact. They're not at 10. But
yeah, anyway, so back to my point is, like Cliff said, it's they might get their own fan base where AEW fans now can watch them and not have to worry about the numbers, and Barry Alvarez can go fucking rock somewhere else. It's been one-sided by the abortion clinic.
Jesus
Christ. Planned Parenthood, trying to tell you.
All right, JJ, what you got?
Finally,
what?
It was about time that they finally decided to Stop trying to compete and just be their own damn thing. I mean, like they've been getting spanked. I mean, their butts are so red from getting spanked all the time by AEW.
But they were
About time.
they were on Wednesdays first.
Yeah,
Who
well,
cares?
AEW
They were
was
on
making
the
the push.
network.
Whoa. They didn't announce that. I mean, yeah, they did, but they weren't announcing that they went live on Wednesdays until Dynamite came out and said.
Oh, I know what they did. They did
There's a difference. There's a difference. You could watch NXT on demand. You didn't have to watch it live. It was pre-taped. These shows were taped now. So it's a difference, even though they were on Wednesdays on the network rather than being, live on USA. So I can't. That ain't gonna fly with me, Damien.
No, they still had it first. Sorry.
Yeah,
Whatever,
I was gonna say.
whatever.
What day? What day
they
did
can
those
have it
shows come
first.
out?
They can have it first, but AEW pushed them out.
Oh, I wouldn't agree with that either.
NBC pushed them out.
NBC pushed them out.
Come on.
NHL.
Oh,
Even then, though, it's not
wrong.
official. It's not. This is all speculation. Let me make sure this is not official that at the end of the year NXT is moving.
Yeah, that is true.
This is not like official. This is all speculation because of NBC Sports is pulling all that content by the end of the year. So it's not official yet because hell they might still stay on Wednesday night next year. Who knows? We don't know. This is
You're right.
speculation.
Sure.
You're absolutely right. They might stay on Wednesdays and get their asses handed to them continuously.
But here's the thing. Here's the crazy thing, though. Like USA hasn't said whether they could just move them a time slot and move them to like 6 to 8 p.m. and then from 8 p.m. obviously to 10 p.m. we'd get AEW. That might be a thing that happens. Like there's nothing that says in here like, oh yeah, by the way, so we're just gonna move them to a different day on a different station. And here's the crazy part, which you guys haven't even really thought about. What if USA just says, well, we're not going to have NXT, and then they go to NBC, and they're on NBC now on Wednesday nights?
Oh, fuck.
Nobody thought about that? You mean to tell me that we're not talking, oh, we want to help these ratings? This is the better show of all the three that we got? Bet. Let's go ahead and put that one on the major news network, on the major cable network, on NBC, because we saw the numbers that are going on with Fox. So why not? That could be a thing that happens.
But I mean, now I'm not, but before, even you say that, but now I'm curious, what's coming on NBC though on Wednesday night at that time slot? Because depending on what comes on, they're not bumping that for wrestling. That is true. It depends. Whatever they have come on NBC on Wednesday night, whatever show, they're not bumping that for fucking wrestling. Let's keep it $1.50.
Let's be real. If
I get what you're saying, though, you're right. That's a possibility. But depending, now I need to go look this up because I need to know. Because
there's weakest link at 7.
What's on?
Hold on. Let me.
What's from 8 to 10? What's on NBC, Josh?
Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist.
That's that new.
This Is Us.
This Is Us.
That's not happening.
Yeah, that's happening.
No.
No, this is us on Tuesday night. Is that the rerun? Is that the
rerun?
Okay, then.
Oh, they might bump that.
They might bump that. Like I say, because no, it's like, This Is Us comes on Tuesdays.
I'm just saying that if Kenan Thompson's show doesn't do well on NBC, best believe that's a very big possibility that they're gonna bump that show, and they're gonna put NXT on. It's a possibility. Like we just throw it out there, but that's something that could happen.
Oh yeah, if it doesn't do good,
all those shows that he just named off, I'd rather watch those at NXT anyways.
I knew you were gonna say that.
You know, that's but think about it, right? So they average 600,000 viewers on USA. 600,000 viewers on USA. Imagine what happens if you move it to a major network like NBC on Wednesday night. Then we're gonna talk about. Then we're really gonna talk about.
Right, the bare minimum you should be getting is at least 600,000. That's the bare minimum.
Yeah.
So like, they could easily up that by a lot.
Right. And so my point that I was gonna make, which is if they do move, I think they should use it as that opportunity to move, because me and Cliff, we talked about it as well. You made up a good point in the car. People who watch AEW go to watch NXT.
Yep, they have to.
That's a proven fact that they go and watch NXT. When the channels, when that commercial goes, they're flipping to NXT. Not necessarily NXT viewers, that diehards are flipping to AEW. So if you know those fans that do flip from AEW to NXT, they don't have to do that. If it's on another night, your 600 that you're normally getting, let's just go. Let's pull it up another 200,000. That's 800,000 right there. That's not bad. That's, you know, and then you could be doing that on average. That's way better than what you're doing now, which is, you know, by average, you're getting 500,000, you know, on average, I think. That's probably selling NXT a little short. But I think it would be good for them to switch, you know, to go to a Thursday night, whereas you don't have to, you know, worry about the competition. You don't have to worry about the channel flipping. Because I'm that person. I watch NXT, and AEW. I don't do the channel flipping. I depend on whatever decided, you know, I'm like, all right, I'm watching this one live. I watch it after the fact. I DVR and I watch it back. So now that I don't have to, I'm going to watch it live because it's a free night. So it would be good for them. I mean, yes, I'm just one person, but I know I'm not the only person that does that.
Oh no, I did it when I was watching Planned Parenthood.
Right, exactly. So it works for them, you know, especially since they're, you know, if they're really worried about numbers and they're worried about getting their ass handed, because they, like, Anthony's right, they have been getting their ass handed to them.
Oh no, they have.
Wait, can you say that? Can you say that again?
I've not.
Look,
they have been getting their asses handed to them.
A little bit before that. Just a little bit before that.
Yeah, I forgot what he said.
I was like, Anthony is right. Anyway, but yeah, they be getting their asses handed from Jump Street, like, and we can say that yes, after the first year, we can all chalk it up, make excuses like, oh, they're the new shining toy. Regardless, they are winning. AEW on a weekly basis gets more people to watch, and they have a higher rating in the demographic week after week. That's the facts. Like we say the numbers every week. The data is like, we have the data, so it's not a bad idea to move them. Yeah, we understand competition. We know how Vince is. You know, he's a fighter, true and true. And I know he's going to be hard to pull off and be like, no, we're going to keep ticking. You know, the Monday Night War is good. We're getting our beat for 83 weeks, but we came back. Do we really need that again? You know, like, especially since this is your third brand. This is not a staple like Raw was. You know, Raw was going on for how many years by that point before Nitro came on?
Oh, 91, right? 91 was the first year. And then Nitro didn't come on until 96, 97?
Yeah, like 96.
96, right. So Raw had damn near 5 years under their belt. So
93.
There you go.
93.
Yeah,
January 11th, 93.
Raw was 93.
Okay, so give or take some years. So my point being that they had years on that live television slot.
Yeah.
And having that fan base. So they can afford 83 weeks of losing in a sense, and it wouldn't be that much of a deal. Whereas NXT, you've only had on the network, only your people, your fans know this show. And that's, you know, whoever watches on the network. If you didn't have the network, you didn't know what the fuck NXT was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, most people, they never knew what NXT was until they invaded. Everyone knew Raw and SmackDown. That's what WWE programmed for the past 20-something years. SmackDown and Raw. They've had a whole video game series about it. Everybody played what? SmackDown versus Raw.
I played SmackDown versus Raw versus ECW.
I had that. That was my
I thought it was featuring ECW.
Shut up, JJ.
That was my very first wrestling game. My mom got me.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It wasn't it wasn't bad.
I'm still sorry to hear that.
I know. I still, I guess what?
For 83 weeks, bro.
I'll make this what you call it. You know, I only announced on the show. I never played WWF No Mercy.
Oh, we're gonna have to reevaluate our friendship.
I'm young.
You know,
But,
next time I come over, I'm bringing out the 64. I'm popping that in, and I'm gonna have to school you.
I'm all down. I'm down for it. I've always wanted to play it. But
Just like
that's my point. That's my take as far as NXT though. Like it would be a good move for them to switch from Wednesday night, especially as far as viewership. Cliff out here throwing curveballs, saying if they go straight to NBC, and even then they might take the 9 o'clock spot and do like how Raw used to do and go from 9 to 11. Which I think would be a better spot would be the 9 to 11 for them to get, but yeah, Cliff, you low-key blew my mind when he said just go straight to NBC. Now I had to think about it and I'm like, whoa. Whoa. Pump the brakes here. But yeah, I don't find it bad that if it's a possibility that they can move. Yeah, so with that being said, it is now time for the greatest segment in all of the 3 Count Podcast shows. It is now time for the Red Dogs Power Rankings.
No, that's dead. That's last season.
Well, fine then.
I'll take it.
Wow, you cussed me out last week for it.
I know.
It's Jeremy. It's not Cliff. That's Jeremy.
You're right.
I don't like the nerd dog.
It's who I am. Bark, bark. This is what we do. Bark, bark. It's what we're going to talk about. Bark, bark, bark. So let's get into January 24th Power Ranking, which, by the way, I will say this is probably the most diverse list in the top 10 that I've ever done. So let's get it started with number 10.
Whoa. Before you start, can you explain the new setup?
By the way, we will.
For the viewers that haven't listened to our previous show, just explain the new setup so they when you start naming an actual match, I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, so last season, if you guys were listening, we only talked about the winners for each match. This season, we wanted to change it up. We wanted to feature the full match with everybody who was involved with it because we felt like there were times where I said if I could include this person, I would include them in the topic, but I just couldn't because we were only featuring winners. So this year we decided we want to do the whole entire match. So we're going to feature both people who are involved in the match, or if there was like a tag team, we featured multiple. So here we go. Let's start us off with number 10. We are going to go with Casey Canzano, Hayden Carter versus Tony Storm and Mercedes Martinez from NXT and the women's Dusty Cup. It was legit. I love that match. Number 9. This is going to be awesome because this is their first entry into this top 10 period. Give it up for Kaylee Ray and Ginny for NXT UK. Yeah, big loves. So we're going to move up to number 8. We're going to bring in Eric Young versus Rhino at Impact. Big loves to those guys. Okay. Number 7. This one might cause some stuff. I don't really. It is what it is. Private Party and Matt Hardy versus Top Flight and Matt Sydal at AEW for Dynamite.
All right. So So the thing with that, I did not. I won't say I did not like it. I didn't think it was a little much. It was a little too long. I won't knock this one. I'm shocking you. I'm not going. I don't knock it. The match wasn't. It wasn't that bad. It's probably the only good thing about Dynamite this week was this match. Yeah, and that's kind of why it was because they had niggas in it. That's why it made the list. So let's go to number 8. So last week this show didn't have any matches on this top 10. This week they have a few, but Alexa Bliss versus Asuka for Raw. I did like the change in character for Alexa Bliss mid-match. It definitely got me. Number 5. This is gonna be one match that I feel like a lot of people need to go check out. This was very underrated, very not talked about, which definitely is a shame. And I'm grateful that Chaz actually told me to go check this one out. Jacob Fatu versus ACH for MLW. Hell Contra. My oos, Jacob Fatu. Because you know, me and Josh, we Samoan.
So let's get into
Wait,
number
you're
4.
Samoan?
Yeah, you ain't know that?
No.
You lying.
No, I'm not.
Let's get into number 4. This is part of the Dusty Cup, so we're gonna be talking about NXT Imperium versus Lucha House Party.
Mhm.
And here's why. I know a lot of people are gonna ask me why I put this match so high. Imperium bringing in that European style, Lucha House Party bringing in their luchador style, just two styles that seem to clash, but for these guys, it worked very perfectly and it was smooth. And I enjoyed watching their match, so I gave a lot of love to it. Number 3, one of my favorite people to watch wrestle just in general, Kushida and Leon Ruff versus The Way on NXT. So if you guys don't know who that is Mr. Johnny Gargano and his escapade that he is leading, because you know it is what it is.
The knockoff of the Mandalorian.
So let's get into number 2. This was the first match that I got to watch on Raw, and I legitimately was astounded by the performances of both these guys. And I know earlier in the broadcast, I was kind of burying one of them, but I will tell you that he is still an incredible athlete. So give it up for AJ Styles versus Ricochet on Raw, because that ending, bruh, what? You just suplex someone on the rope, catch him, just hit him with a Styles Clash. Like, bruh, get out of here.
It was a work of art.
It was a beautiful thing. I was like, So how do you top that match? Easy. You go back to NXT and you watch Timothy Thatcher versus Tommaso Ciampa put on a clinic in a place where you could only win by knockout or submission, and legitimately watch, Timothy Thatcher do his thing, man. And it was a great match back and forth. I love Tommaso Ciampa and his work that he was putting in. So yeah, big ups to both those guys. And the crazy thing is in this match too, you saw 2 different styles, which Tommaso Ciampa was looking for like finishers that he would get the pin in, and you could see Timothy Thatcher was the one for submission moves. So just a contrast in like the wrestling psychology, which was really cool to me. And then watching them blend it together and just have this beautiful performance. So yeah, big ups to Thatcher and Ciampa for NXT this week.
Bro, listen, if you have not watched MLW this week and you did not check out Jacob Fatu versus ACH, it was a really good match. I'm not just saying that because my oops is in there.
Oh, that crybaby still wrestling?
Fuck you, bitch.
Look, it's not my fault that you hate a bitch ass.
What? I don't hate. I love Jacob Fatu.
My fault. Like, I hate the bitch ass nigga. My bad.
You don't like Jacob Fatu.
I don't like crybaby.
Hail Contra. Hail Contra.
Hail Contra.
Hail Contra.
Jacob Fatu whooped his ass.
Anyway, so I don't see really, like you said, Cliff. This was a very diverse list for the power.
Did you have any SmackDown matches in there?
Yeah, there was 0 SmackDown matches that I liked this week. And it's very tough for me to say, but a lot of the matches that you watched were just kind of like it was like Dynamite show. It was just filler for whatever's going to happen next week. And I was just kind of disappointed with it. So yeah, I didn't care for any of them. I mean, like, think about it, right? So we're going to talk into it, right? Biggie and Apollo Crews had a rematch. Sami Zayn interfered. Sasha Banks and Randall were doing their match. Nothing really came out of that. There was supposed to be Paul Heyman versus Paul Heyman's matches will come up. Card subject to change. Roman Reigns came in, and then Roman Reigns got fucked up by KO. So like, you know what I mean? Like, if you looked at the whole card, like, what matches really happened?
Right.
It was the storytelling, I think, that was more predominant.
What storytelling? What did they tell? What story did they tell? They started the show with Roman Reigns, right? Saying that they were going to do, like, this whole match thing. And, like, that was cool. And that was kind of like the tie-in. But, like, it's still at the end of the day, you're a wrestling product, and I didn't get any kind of real wrestling out of it. Like, granted, I did like a lot of stuff that happened on the show, but as far as like putting a match in the top 10, it was just not going to happen.
I mean, that's what I said. I can see that. I completely understand that.
It's rough. Last week was Raw. This week was SmackDown.
Next week's NXT.
Oh no, that's not gonna happen because NXT is too fly for that.
I can't. I have no problem with your list, bro.
No, absolutely not. It's a good list.
I enjoy. I think this is probably one of the very most diverse and solid list. So, with that being said, that brings you to the end of our show, folks.
Whoa. I'm just sorry. I'm gonna cut you off here. I am starting a GoFundMe. It's gonna last for about 14 years for bail money because your boy's got a little girl.
Hey, yo, that's fucking awesome.
Bail money. Yeah, you're right. No, that's smart.
Go for the last 14 years.
I don't think they last that long either.
Now we can end the show.
But congratulations to Lou the franchise. He's got another mongrel coming, another spawn of his. At least we know your thing still works. So with that being said, my name is Chaz Evans. It's your boy, your nephew, your cousin, the Don, the host of the 3 Count Podcast debate show. It's time to wrap it up, kids. Here with the Red Dog, Cliff Miller, the Dog Lord himself, Damien Fatal, my little brother, the Napster, Q, JJ, the college boy. Here with Lou and his unborn child. I'm here welcoming you to, cut this shit, man. Be there for the next episode. Be there or be square. I'm all 50 shades of messed up.
All right. Bark, bark, bark. This is the end.
Hey guys, it's the host of the 3 Count, Chaz Evans here. Make sure to let you know that I don't run shit, I don't do shit, I just talk shit. And make sure you subscribe to our podcast. What else did you do? You should also follow us on all social medias. That's the Facebook at 3 Count Podcast, the Instagram at 3 Count Pod, and the Twitter at 3count_pod. Also, if you like us a lot, you should definitely buy a t-shirt at prowrestlingtees.com/3countpod, and that's the number 3. Don't be an idiot and type in THREE because you're not going to find anything. So make sure you follow us at 3 Count Pod or 3count_pod on Twitter and buy a shirt. Be there or be somewhere else.